Project Playtime. This game is, as everybody knows, basically dead. Over the last few months, some YouTubers have tried to revive it because people genuinely want Mob to bring this game back. And I'm also one of those people. So I'm going to attempt to bring back a cancelled tag game mode Mob teased on their Twitter a few years back. In this game mode, two teams fought against each other to tag as many players on the enemy team. But when I was looking at this short teaser video that they posted, I found that the UI at the top of the screen looked a little familiar. It reminded me heavily of Overwatch. You know, that game where you sit and spawn and try to score the basketball shot before the game starts. So in this video, I'm starting a project where I'm going to try to bring back this game mode with a mix of Overwatch mechanics. If you're excited for today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe with post notifications on, and let's jump straight in. To start, I decided it was a good idea to pick an Overwatch map to use as a reference. For this, I chose Busan Mecha Base, since it was an overall enclosed map that was just like Poppy Playtime, pretty industrial. While Past Me works on getting the map ready, let me explain what the objective on this map specifically will be. For those who play Overwatch, this will be pretty obvious, but for the ones who don't, here's a quick breakdown. In Overwatch, there are several different types of maps and game modes, but for this project, we're going to focus on control. There are 3 maps in this game mode, each with one objective. The 2 teams in this match will come running from their spawn to attack the objective present in the exact center of the map. This game mode is a best of 3, so the first team that captures 2 objectives wins. Hopefully you now understand the basics of the control game mode. So now, let's start actually building out the map. I started by blocking out the rough shape of the spawn room on the left side of the map. This would make it a lot easier to build around with the Poppy Playtime assets than having the real spawn room in the way. After this was done, I found a nice set of modular metal walls that I found perfect for the location this map was set in. For this map, I wanted it to be set in a storage area of Playtime Co. And these wall panels were perfect for the look I was trying to achieve. For the spawn room, I wanted to make it fairly detailed and full, without making it cramped, because there would still need to be a decent amount of space for 5 people to walk around in before the round starts. Often it can be quite difficult to fill up empty spaces without stuff feeling random or out of place, but in this case I found some nice props to fill up the outer edges of this room. Since this map is located in the storage areas of Playtime Co., I wanted to give the spawn room a nice and open feeling, because for storage there's obviously lots of space necessary. I decided to do this by making this room pretty tall and add windows all around the room with bright white lights coming from behind them. Don't ask me where that light comes from, because I don't know, but it ain't the outside. And if you're like,
actually, that's not realistic if we're so far down.
just remember that Playtime did this too in the game station. Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. After adding some pipes, props, lots of props, and bringing the back wall out, the spawn room was finally finished. Luckily, this only took 3 hours. With the spawn room finished, I can now move on to the chamber in front of the left spawn room door. From this room, the teams can split up into 3 different directions. I began blocking out the area again, and used the same wall pieces as before, but this time I changed the material to a bronze, grady-ish material to make it look different from the spawn room. In the center of this room, there was also a random round pillar thing, so I decided to replace that with a pipe that transports red gas, and sealed it off nicely at the top. I always have a hard time to come up with a design for the ceiling, so I decided to make the ceiling just a bunch of rocks held up by metal support beams. I know, really smart.
Sometimes my genius is... it's almost frightening.
There really isn't anything interesting to say about this room, so after adding some tiny rocks on the floor that had fallen from the ceiling, and some more filler props and details, this was the result. The next section I was going to make was the staircase and the room through the left doorway. I quickly cooked up a fairly simple staircase, and then I started working on the big room. Now, blocking out this room was quite a bit harder to get right than the previous ones due to the weird angles it had, but after some trial and error, I got it close enough. I decided to go back to the grey metal walls for this one and added some big windows in the walls again to let some more light through, and I also found the perfect forklift model to replace the Overwatch one. Now, I did want to fill up this room to actually make it feel like a storage room, but since there needs to be plenty of room to still fight around, I had to keep a clear path open. Luckily, I could still add some random props around the side, like these concrete barriers and wooden pallets. For the ceiling, I again didn't really know what to do, so I just copied over the floor and added some metal support beams to hold it up. After also spending 2 hours on this room, this was the final look. For the final area I was going to do for this video, I wanted it to be special. In Overwatch, this room looks out over just a bland ocean, but I decided I could make something way cooler using this open space, because you know I love Poppy Playtime, but do you know what else I like?
I like trains.
So I'm transforming this area into a train station. I started blocking out the room again, and it was nice that it didn't take an hour to do this because of the weird angles. So this was a nice breath of fresh air. I quickly imported the Playtime Express from Project Playtime, and when that was done, I used the same metal walls again to cover the placeholder structures, since they've been working quite well for the other areas. When the main station was done, I started building the tunnel for the train to pass through. It had to be pretty long, because I didn't want players to see the end of the tunnel. This really didn't take too long, since it was just a bunch of copy-pasting work. So to finish the station off, I added some final details to prevent it from feeling too empty, and connected the station to the parts of the map that I had already built. So here's where our progress stands after this video. If you're still watching this video by now, thank you so much. This has taken a long time to make and edit, and I can only show a small portion of that in this video. In the next video, I'll be mainly focusing on the map's control point, where you'll be spending most of the game, and the tiny areas that I didn't cover in this video. If you're excited to see that, make sure to leave a like on this video, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe, and then I will see you in the next one. See ya!